Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening and welcome to PMI webinar session today. Thanks for the people who have been early into the joining session. I think we are at very good pace in terms of pacing of webinars, and we are very happily going to invite our more guests like these, what we have today in our today's session. Today's webinar topic, as you must be already knowing and aware about, is about PMO to VMO transformations. And we are also going to speak not with one, but at this time, more the merrier, two speakers with us, is Rıdvan and Eren, and who are representing the Future Agile as well from their perspective and going to share all their thought process, ideas, and whatever the information and knowledge they want to bring in to our community together. So just keep your time away, and then apparently we will be starting the webinar as usual in a couple of more minutes when more of our friends will take some time to join from different part of the world. So keep and stay tuned, guys. We will be beginning the session in a couple of minutes with the formal introductions to the PMI. So far, we have seen 74 guests with us here somewhere. We are expecting more to join in a couple of more minutes. And with the past experience, what we have seen, definitely we have seen the audience has joined in more than 100 and most of the webinars which we have been hosting in this year. So the trend will continue. I expect to continue and grow more. We as a chapter of UAE are also doing a lot of activities. And also we are happy to announce that there will be a face-to-face session for all the volunteers as well, which we are going to organize and send communication from marketing to all of you. So a lot of excitement and a lot of new things are going to be scheduled in next part of this year now. And we will try to keep our standards on always and try to make the best use of all our time together, guys. So let me start quickly with some of the keynotes of what we always do. To introduce myself, so my name is Anchal. If you know me already by the previous webinar session, I'm the moderator tonight, and I will be joined with my colleagues at the back, Mr. Amilari and also Parvez and Bhavin, who have been working from the back-end side to make these events, webinars to the live. We have today the webinar topic, PMO to VMO transformation, about which a lot of things we have known in the past, and also we are always eager to learn something more and different what we know from the past. So we have our esteemed guests for today's topic, who are Mr. Eren and Rıdvan, and I'm going to introduce them in the much more detail. But before that, let me see that how many people are there. Okay, we are almost there, guys. We are almost there in the hundreds again. So I think let's wait for one more minute, not to delay more, and then we will shoot our formal PPT and the introduction. So good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, or good night. From where are you joining, guys? From which part of the world? I don't know at the moment, but welcome all, and thank you all of you for taking the time to attend this webinar with PMI UAE chapter. As soon as it's 100, I would begin, guys, okay? Just keep a breath with me over there. Okay. We have one less at the moment, 7:04. We'll just wait for one more minute. If it touches 100, it will be a kind of, yep, here you go. We touched 100. So here we go. So formally we launch ourselves at 7:04 p.m. This webinar, I would like to keep some housekeeping notes to the attendees. What you can expect from this webinar is 1 hour and 15 minutes. Before we launch the topic, our set agenda will be like, of course, I will go through the brief introduction for the people who are joining first time this webinar in case. So I will give the introduction to PMI UAE chapter to them. Also, the core webinar presentation will be shared with our guests. At the same time, we will keep a short time for the question and answers separately at the end, where Rıdvan, Eren, and myself will try to do our level best to accommodate your questions from the audience and within the time frame as well. We encourage you, all of you, to be participant as a kind of webinar, and this webinar welcomes all the questions which we can try to answer in the Q&A section, and make this webinar as much as interesting as possible with your interesting questions and knowledge sessions. We also like to give a heads up to our speakers that more importantly, how many questions we are going to get, so that we can try to manage our time. And now let me start our PMI UAE chapter introduction slides. Allow me to share my screen, and then from there I will take it later on to the introduction of our guests there. Okay. There you go. Okay, good. So PMI UAE chapter, as you must be already aware about, and if somebody is joining it first time, let me speak about what is Project Management Institute. So we are the world leader, and we work on your behalf to advance the project management as a kind of passionate profession around the worldwide. The chapter vision of UAE is empowering and influence individuals with innovation and innovative project economy principles, and to turning them into the reality ideas. As per the mission statement is concerned, to disrupt and create value driven to our chapter members, which all of you are. And also, if you're not, please be welcome to join the chapter, and our partners to become agile, innovative, and productive in our platform for growth of the project economy. So this is the chapter. We are the PMI UAE chapter, country's chapter for the US-based Project Management Institute, run by 100% volunteers. We are proud to be in the top 5 of all the global chapters in terms of the members, and we are growing day by day. We are passionate about project management as a profession and also as a personal development. We value networking and also increasing our educations. We are dependent on all of you as an audience, as a participant, to make our chapter activities as interactive and invigorating as possible. And also please contribute to our activities through interesting talks, presentation, questions, and corporate sponsorship. And also you can also add your value as a volunteer as well. This is our chapter board. So as you can see, this board is being headed by Mr. Adil Sultan as a president, and rest of the directors involved over there with him. We have benefits in 2023, like we have networking, learning and knowledge sharing, career growth, and events. This particular webinar series, what we do are the part of the event section, where we do a lot of diversified topics to make the people understand and learn about them. Our silver sponsors include Dubai Properties and Miras, and other collaboration partners are listed on the slide as well. PDU information. So this particular webinar will bring you 2 strategic PDUs, and would take near about 1.5 months, something like that, to get accredited to your account. You don't need to do anything around it, but automatically these will be credited to your account. We also try to engage audience through Q&A section. And if you have any queries regarding your PDUs, you can definitely drop an email to info@pmiua.org. To find out more about the chapter activities and events and furthermore webinars, you can definitely go and visit our site, www.pmiua.org. And as well, we are present in LinkedIn and YouTube as well. Please subscribe to it, and then you will learn more in terms of information. So that is about chapter. And now let me unshare my screen quickly, and we'll try to introduce my speakers for today. Give me a minute. Yeah. Okay. So coming back to our webinar topic today. So let me introduce our 2 guest speakers. Let me introduce Mr. Eren first. So he works on organizational agile transformation and lean portfolio management. Also, he has been involved into 2 different books for project management and agile transformation, 5 important steps for organizational agile transformation. He currently holds different positions, including principal agility consultant for the London-based Future Agile company. And also he has done a lot of other certifications, including DA coach, PMP, Scrum Agile, and practitioner of DA SSM as well. Our second speaker, Mr. Rıdvan, is also having 20 years of professional experience. He worked in technology, manufacturing, pharma, finance, banking, and retail sections. Also, he worked in insurance as a software engineer, analyst, as a project manager, process manager, portfolio, PMO, a lot of variety of work he has done around them. And also, he has worked on domestic and foreign projects throughout, where in 2012, he built in a healthcare group in the PMO, and during his professional career, he also managed different business and IT transformational programs. In addition to his professional career, he's also the member and volunteer at Agile Turkey Business Agility Institute, PMI Global Turkey chapter, and chapter leader and co-founder in Business Agility Turkey. So join the hands with me, guys, to welcome our both speakers together. And I believe that they will be definitely going to give us a lot of interesting aspects about PMO, and next aspect, how it's going to transform to VMO. So over to you, gentlemen. We are here, always there to listen to you, and then over to you for the ground floor.
Thank you for the yeah, that was great. So I think we have limited time, so we need to start fast. But do we need to, did we create the record, the attendee record? But we have 128, but I don't know the X ones, but maybe we can do that. So let me share my screen. So can you see my screen?
Let me see. People are typing in the chats.
Okay.
I can't see either. Okay, I think.
Okay.
Okay, I think you can share. I can see your screen now.
Okay, that's good. So we will focus on how to transform PMO to VMO, but let's define what is PMO. As we know, the project management office to value management office. We can say that the value management office. But before to talk about how to transform PMO to VMO, let's start with the beginning. Also, what is PMO, project management office, and how till now, how did we develop this PMO? So let's start with the current state. And before to start, I want to ask you some questions. While watching these slides and while listening us, let's ask these questions to yourself. And if you are currently working with a PMO, or if you are a member of any PMO, or if you are leading the PMO, you need to ask these questions to yourself. How effective is our existing project management office? And how adaptable is our existing PMO? And how respected is our project management office from the other stakeholders? And does our PMO focus on more than just projects? Or if our company works with a product base, can we adapt to this? And is our PMO outcome focused? And how flexible is our PMO in now digital age? So while talking about these topics, also you can think about these questions. But Rıdvan, maybe we can start with the defining of the current PMOs. And I want to start with the last one question to you to listen your experience. So let's go back and talk about how PMOs defined. So when you start with a project based any small company, when you start with a startup, as you know, every employer doing their best to achieve the company goals. You know, this is the startup culture, and all companies needs to adapt with like this startup culture. But what is happening then? While the company is growing, we are adding different hierarchies, as you know. What we are saying, okay, we have sales team and we have sales experts, sales manager, sales director, or we have development team, developer, and you are good developer now development team leader, development manager, group manager, director, or CTO, like that.
Lots of managers, right?
Yeah, lots of managers we are facing. And after that, what's happening, Rıdvan? And while we are after this hierarchical situation, what we are doing, we are saying, okay, we need to focus on the project A. Let's create a team, also metrics team, also to focus on this project A. And then, oh, we have another urgency because we are in digital age and we need to adapt the market. Our competitor grow new product and we need to catch them. So let's define project B, project C, project D. What is happening? Same person is trying to work with different projects. And then what we are saying, okay, we have lots of projects and one people is working with these different projects. What is the solution? Project manager. Let's put one project manager to complete this project on time, on scope, in scope, and on budget. So we are defining the project manager role to manage this project and to coordinate these teams. And what's happening then? After we manage these type of projects, we are saying, okay, we need to coordinate these project managers and we need to coordinate the whole projects with a portfolio mindset. So we need to define our project management office. And then we are creating project management office. And what's happening? We are defining our master plan annually. And we are managing our projects under this project management office. And we are managing scope, budget, and also sometimes outcome, but lots of time scope, budget, time. And we are managing the resource and capacity and report to top management. PMOs are taking responsibility to report to top management. Oh, okay, this project is green, this project is green, this project is green. I couldn't see the lots of red projects. If there is still red too also. Measure outputs, lots of time, not outcomes, in my experience, and they are taking the lesson learned to share with the other project managers and engage with stakeholders, blah, blah, blah. We can say that. So after this situation, also we are defining our project management office and they are taking the responsibilities about these areas. So what's happening then? I want to ask you a question at this part, Rıdvan. What are the challenges for the current PMO?
Thank you, Eren. Actually, there are lots of challenges in that manner because you know that almost all projects coming from the company strategy. It should be like that. And also at the beginning of the year, each year, generally PMO starting to create their master plan, right? So then they're also trying to evaluate their resources and also their targets, their project portfolios, and also programs, projects. So actually the challenge is happening from that point. So because generally PMOs or portfolio managers, program managers, or project managers may be aware of the strategy of project, but not the whole companies or all team members aware of these kind of target goal strategies in the company. Generally, we are seeing that kind of pictures in the project management processes in lots of companies. So at the beginning of the session, and also my colleague Angel shared our experiences, I also managed PMO as head of PMO. During that time, I saw lots of challenges. Like, for example, think about like that. Almost all fields in the company, like marketing section, and also sales field, and also maybe procurement perspective, and also in IT field, there are lots of different priorities. So almost all executive managers trying to maybe increase the urgency of their projects or their strategies. But again, there are really clear problems on the table because they need to understand, they need to agree about the priority of these kind of project demands or the strategic demands. It should be strategic, right? So, but they try to direct, or they try to increase their priority in terms of their field. But they need to understand the company vision, company strategy, and also company's common priority. In that manner, the really important thing is the portfolio management. Lots of project management offices not manage the portfolio exactly. That's the first problem, or we can say that the first challenge. The second one, collaboration between all departments in the company. That's another case, because almost all PMOs are trying to manage project successfully, right? You already mentioned about the traffic light, red, green, and also yellow, right? But it is not outcome for us, it's just output. It's also manipulated by project managers generally. So it is really tough to collaborate all team members in terms of the common goal. That's another challenge in PMOs and also in the project management role as well. So we need to collaborate all team members, like all departments, to be able to have the real outcomes from the project. That's another challenge, because generally project managers are trying to do command and control behaviors. That's the really old style, let's say old style collaboration approach. We are now trying to transform whole companies as agile mindset. We're also discussing about that. We will share lots of stories in that manner during this presentation. The second problem, we can say that the collaboration. And also maybe third one, we already discussed about the behavior of project, program, and portfolio managers. Maybe the last one, we can say that the last one can be the culture. It is really untangible, right? It's really tough to understand the culture of the company, the culture of the team, because almost each team has their culture, because they have different communication channels, they have different skills, and also they have different people, right? Because of that, we need to understand team spirit, and also we need to create our own culture in the team. That's really important. So as a PMO leaders or as a project managers, program managers, we need to understand team structures. We need to understand team members and also their expectations. We need to clarify the real goal of the project or programs to be able to have great team culture, collaboration, and also value proposition. That's really important, because they need to share, or they need to, let's say, clarify their value proposition in the company as a PMO. That is my experience. That's really important, because I want to share one real example in that manner. In my last experience as head of PMO, I had 8 project managers in my team, and also we were support lots of international projects in healthcare sector. But each project managers had different skills during the project or project management process. When I observe or when I evaluate these project managers, I really understand that if the project manager is able to create that kind of environment in the project process, it's almost certain that the project was successfully ended. That's really important. That's my experience. Yeah.
That's cool.
So, and also, you know that because of that, maybe because of these kind of challenges, PMOs have to change, right? It's not should, it have to have. What's your opinion about that matter?
Also, I wanted to ask you a question about this experience sharing. Do we need to close the PMOs?
Yes, that's really.
This situation, lots of companies are saying this.
Yes.
Oh, okay, we are in transformation because we are facing lots of problems with PMOs,
Yes.
or we are not agile. What is the reason? The reason of PMO. So fire the whole members, and will you be agile? I think no. So what is the problem? I think in this area, problem with I think, is not the people, problem with not the project managers, PMO leaders, or portfolio managers, program managers. I think the problem is with which we created the system also, created by us. What does it mean, the system? I liked your also the first example, prioritization, sales team, marketing team. All teams have different prioritization, but the company has limited capacity. So PMO needs to resist it. You know this because this was your X role, and you need to resist it. You
Sure.
cannot complete whole projects at the same time. But when you try to prioritize them, you need to fight with the stakeholders, and the business teams will say to you, "Oh, Rıdvan, we don't like you because you are resisting us." This is a systemic problem because this is not about Rıdvan. This is about the system. Maybe the next one, also project manager. I think that was a good point because we are saying to project managers, you need to complete this project on time. The top management is pushing us too much. Our competitor is growing better than us. You need to complete this project on time. When we focus on time or on budget or in scope, what's happening? The project manager is directly focusing to complete the project and focusing just output. They are not focusing the outcome because of the system again. So I think this was a good point. And let's talk about what is the future of PMO and how can we change the system without closing PMO? So I want to ask, do we need to close the PMO? What's your opinion about that?
Yes, actually, I had that question from the CEO of one of the biggest energy company in Turkey. The CEO told me that, do we need to close our PMO? Actually, it was a surprise for me when I heard this question because we discussed lots of challenges about the transformation of that company, but of course we had some problems during this transformation. Almost all transformation story includes lots of challenges, you know that. So when we talk about these kind of impediments or challenges during this transformation, of course, we need to change something about the project management processes and also stakeholder management processes. Maybe, again, the prioritization of demands, projects, programs, and something like that. But the result of these CIO's mind is maybe the problem is PMO itself. But the conclusion is, of course, wrong because we need to change our PMOs as well. Because you know that when we start to transform any kind of companies, we are starting with their vision, strategies, and also roadmap, etc. So we need to understand that if we started to change our company, especially during this transformation period, we need to change lots of governance, lots of processes. Maybe also we need to change our people as well in the company. So of course we need to change our PMO from PMOs to VMO. You know that. That's our main topic today because we need to understand the value proposition of PMO. And also we need to maybe relocate our PMOs from the command and control part to a real partner of the company strategy and the real partners of the team as a kind of protector, a kind of value maximizer, right? We are calling these kind of terms for product owners right now. But of course, again, the project managers of PMO need to focus the value in the level of the strategy, right?
Yeah.
Maybe right now, I need to ask you directly, Eren, how we can reposition our PMOs as VMO in that strategy layer?
Yeah, let me give information before to answer this question. When I'm saying to VMO, they are saying, okay, this is different, or Agile PMO, VMO. I think the name is not important. Also, there is a question about XMO. The name doesn't matter, I think. You can say still PMO, but I think change to PMO name is better, because when you say to PMO to VMO, it's starting to change to also some things in our minds. And also that's, but the name is not important for us. You can say XMO, you can say Agile PMO, VMO, VDO, Value Delivery Office, it doesn't matter. But let me answer your question. How can we transform? And also, let's look at two different perspectives, and traditional PMO approach and VMO approach. And we talked about the traditional PMO approach. What was the topic? The one topic is people organized in functional silos, like sales, like marketing, like procurement, development, test, and also they are working with temporary project teams. When you complete your project, your job is done. You are now flexible and you can work on with different projects. So again, fund projects and project cost accounting. I think this is another important topic, because we are saying you have $10 million to complete this project. If you need $1 million more, you were a PMO leader. What is your experience about it? If you need more budget, you will resist it, because you will say, okay, I need to take approval from top management. It will take sometimes 3 months, it will take 2 months, or the blame games will start. IT will say, okay, the problem is stakeholder part or business part. Business will say, this is IT project, they need to guess the budget.
Eren, sorry for interruption, but let me give an example about that point of view. In our experiences in the consultancy part, we will work with a defense industry company in Turkey, and we are trying to change the process of the project management, and also we were discuss about the change management process, right? That's a really important process in the project management processes. So they told me that sometimes we are raising some change requirements. Actually, maybe it is around the 1 or 2 months development efforts as a duration, but we are trying to complete this change management process within 2 or 3 months. That's really interesting thing, because we are losing our value during that time, because we are also facing with our direct customers, like police departments and also another defense authorities in the country. So it is really playing the example, but the real case, right? We have that kind of problem during our experience, right?
Also, that's great example, because it's affecting our flow efficiency. And I want to say our attendees, if you don't know what is flow efficiency, let's go to Google and write flow efficiency, and you will understand what we are saying, because this is very important. 2 months you are waiting, and maybe you can complete that change request on that time. That's a great example. Thanks, Rıdvan. And we discussed annual planning and annual budgeting, and centralized unlimited work intake, as you mentioned, with one sales team, the other teams, also business development team, they are coming with big initiatives, and all of them is urgent, and project overload, we know that. And also we overly detailed business cases based on speculative return of investment, because we are following projects and the top management are saying, okay, when will you complete this project? 9 months. How much money do I need to spend? 10 million. Okay, you have 10 million, not much more. And you need to prepare some speculative return of investment. After 3 months, you are saying, okay, we are good. 6 months, we are good. 7 months, you are saying we are good. But 8 months, when you complete the project, the results is lots of time, as you said, unsuccessful projects we are facing. The last one, projects governed by phase gate, waterfall milestone, progress measured by task completion. You know, analyze completed, 25%. Development completed 70%. But when the customer faced with the results, or when they started to test it, maybe you will go back and you will start from zero. So what is the VMO approach to change this, to solve these problems? Also, people need to organize in stable value streams, and we can say that tribe agile release train, but the topic is people need to organize in stable, long-lived, and value stream. This is important, and continuous value flow. That's an important, yeah.
And then let me share another example in our experience. When we talk with an insurance company, the CEO of the company shared their experiences about the change of the companies, or about the change of projects and also programs, and also organization. He told that, I observed, I realized the change or transformation of our organization before this time, before the change is happening. We designed our organization as hierarchy manner or hierarchy perspective, the functional hierarchy perspective, like as we already talked, marketing, sales, IT, operations, finance, etc. But right now, when we start to transform our company as a feature of companies, we started to create or design our organization about our objectives, right? Right now, we are creating hierarchy of objectives, targets. That's really important, strategic objective. In that point of view, of course, we need to change our PMO approach from the traditional to the maybe new generation PMO, we can say.
Thank you, Rıdvan. That's a great information. And to learn this one more, you can write again Google. I will mention some topics, and you can go to Google and you can find more information. Value stream identification, that's important. And if you learn the value stream identification part, and you can learn how to organize around value, not just projects. So the next one, we need to fund the value streams and apply lean budget. What does it mean? Also, if you fund to not silos or not projects, if you fund to value streams, that means if you need to spend much more money, you can spend with within your tribe, or within your agile release train, or within your value stream based group, but you can postpone the other feature or project or initiative. You can do that. You can be flexible because you know the value in your tribe, in your agile release train. I think this is again important topic. VMOs needs to work with this. And again, value stream budgets adjust dynamically, and lean budgeting. And I think you need to Google it again. Lean budgeting. That's very important, because lean budgeting period is not annually, it's a quarterly. And in my experience, this is the hardest part with PMOs, and also for the companies, because their system is also aligned with annually reporting, but you are saying quarterly budgeting. And how can you change the system? Also, there is lots of practices about this, and to focus on this.
And maybe we need to say that some companies, which are really major companies in that manner, they are running these lean budgeting perspective monthly basis, not quarterly as well. So that's really important. They are trying to create, of course, at the beginning of the year, they are creating their annually budgets, and then they are checking these budget monthly basis. They are calling it 1+2, 1+3, 1+4, and etc. So that's really important perspective. But let's start with quarterly basis, and then you can change it from the quarterly to month basis as well.
Also, that's great. And again, you can Google it. Agile budgeting and lean funding. Also, this is the PMI content, discipline agile content. Lean funding means also the payment process of how can you manage this. And as you said, Rıdvan, maybe with monthly based, and if they use to lean funding process and they can follow the also with details, it will help to them. So what is the next one? Also, strategic demands managed by portfolio Kanban. I think this is the one of the important topic, because unlimited work, if you start with unlimited work, you have great agile teams, but if the top management add too much initiatives or project into these teams backlog, they cannot be agile, as we know, because the top management will say we want to complete all these projects at the same time, but the team will work on the unlimited works. So portfolio Kanban will help us to see our capacity and to limit our capacity. For example, with 100 people, we have 10 projects. We can handle these 100 people with 10 people with 100 project. But if we add more projects also, we are not stopping the other projects. As you know, we are adding new projects, and portfolio Kanban is saying to us, okay, if you want to add new projects, which one do I need to stop? Or do I need to add new resources? If not, okay, do I need to drop one project from in progress?
And let me share another example in that perspective. When we try to do this kind of portfolio Kanban on a quarterly basis in the finance company, we start to, before the exact event, we collected all demands from all, let's say, all functions of the company. We collected their strategic demands, and also we told them, you need to share your highest priority demand. You need to share with us. So we got these demands, and also we asked them, you need to share your resources as well. These resources need to also join the project team. And then we clarified our resource utilization table and also all demands together. So we set a specific event for that. And in summary, we realized that we have lots of demand, lots of project demand. Think about like that. We have just one, or maybe we can say that we have 1,000 manpower for the project available capacity. Our demands 10 times higher than this capacity, 10 times. When we realized that picture, actually the fight happened in that event. They actually they angry about that because they don't want to see this new picture. But the important thing was the picture is real, right? So after that realization, they don't accept this picture. They argued about that because they told us, we don't accept this reality. We have to have all these demands together within this year, but it is not possible, we told them. And so we changed our mind to be able to reach our capacity, and also in other point of view, we try to increase our capacity in terms of to reach our goals together with all parties in that event. At the end of the event, of course, we decrease some demand, And also we increased our capacity together with all function leaders. That was really important experience for us, but the reality like that, right?
That's good example. And if we work with traditional approach, what was happening? And the business team will say, we are business team. If you want to catch our competitors, or if you want to catch our market, you need to complete this. This is not our responsibility. The IT team needs to complete the whole these initiatives. We are just requester. What IT team are saying, we are doing our best. What's happening? The traditional PMO try to create a balance between these things. But if you visualize it,
sure.
If all of them take the responsibility about this, as you mentioned, then that will be great. So the portfolio Kanban is very important at this point. To lean business case with minimum viable product, this mindset is very important because we need to ask to themselves, what is our MVP for this project or this project or this project? And also agile forecasting and estimating, not work on mandates too much, focus on to agile estimating and work with rolling wave planning. You know, I think if you are familiar with project management, rolling wave planning is helping us to plan the next quarter, maybe plan to next quarter, so plan the soon, but forecast the future with a portfolio level. So that's another important topic. And the last one, also, Rıdvan, you have experience about this. I think you have lots of example about this. Products and services needs to govern by self-managing teams, not by project managers. And the teams needs to focus on objectives, and these objectives needs to measurable, and the milestone needs to based on working solution, not the project gate milestone, also phase gate milestone. I think this is the important part. Self-managing teams focus on outcomes and work on with working software. Do you have any example about this?
Sure, Eren. We can easily say that there is no magic, right? Actually, almost all improvement areas related with to have common goal. That's first thing. First thing first. We need to have common goal with all organization, not only CEO or CXO, but let me share honestly. I saw lots of companies which they don't have real team members in the team A. I mean the CXO. Lots of companies, CXO members are not aligned the strategies together. They're also trying to protect their functional excellence, right? That's really mistake for the companies. First of all, we need to create our common goal. And then we need to share these goals, these strategies directly to the teams, because all teams have to have, or they need to understand the goals, strategies, and also they need to understand the right products and also right outcome, right? That's our main topic today. They need to understand the outcomes of the team because it is also affected their motivation as a team. Because during these transformation periods, we are collecting lots of data from teams. We are asking directly to the teams, are you happy to be able to conduct that kind of process with your team? They are responding these questions. We are happy to a member of this team because we are bringing lots of outcomes together. We are aware of the value of these outcomes. That's a really important thing for the company, right? And also it will affect our motivation as well. So, and the other thing, we need to start the team building activities with the objectives and also roadmaps. Also, it provides us milestone, right? So almost all iterations with, for example, with Scrum teams, we are discussing about sprints, and also we are supporting Kanban teams. They're also following some cadence, right? So again, they need to have some milestones, roadmaps, and also common vision and goal. So during that period, so they need to check almost all iterations. They need to check their outcomes and also their goals, objectives. Sometimes they need to change their objectives as well, because we are really working in the dynamic environment right now. Let me share another real example. We are supporting lots of different companies within different sectors, and also some agricultural sector. We are working with some company. So when we start to transform company, we are starting with pilot areas, pilot, let's say, value streams, pilot ARTs, pilot tribes. We try to create the pilot areas with their executives together. We set the workshop, the morning time, and we start to work about these starting point with together. It should be strategic, it should be measurable, it should be have the cross-functional teams, something like that. When we try to explore these ideas to start this transformation, something happened. And also some guys came into the room, and he told us something happened from the government, from the authority of agriculture. But they prevent something about the agriculture, exactly their field, and almost all strategy of the company changed at that time. So the workshop simultaneously adapted to the last decision from the government, from the authority, right? That is the reality of the world. Because of that, we need to understand sometimes we need to change our strategies, our goals as well. Yeah. That is the new way of working.
That was good question, and that was good experience sharing also. But yeah, let's summarize the whole these parts, and I will share one more slide just, and then I will ask you my final question, Rıdvan, and you need to prepare for this question while I'm explaining this part. So we talked about what is PMO and what's current state PMO, and how can we change the PMO to VMO, or we can say that XMO or PDO or Agile PMO. This is a value stream, and just we need to focus on the to improve our value stream. But which steps do we have in value stream? Also, value stream is always starting and ending with customer. And the customer needs also, we are always saying to be customer centricity. To do this, we need to focus on customer needs. To do this, we need to create our strategy with a customer perspective. And then we need to measure our strategy, and we need to define our initiatives, projects, or epics. And then we need to put a limit these projects or initiatives with a portfolio management, and we need to invest them with a lean budget. And then what is the next step? The next step is product management. What does it mean? That means to work on to right products. And then if you work on right products, to create agile teams and work with different teams and manage with their dependencies with a program management. And this is the delivery part. And you know, the release management and IT operation will help us to complete the initiatives or projects on time. And when we get the value, also business operations will help us to continue to value, and support will help us to continue to support, and the customer value will complete it. So when we look at this whole picture, to value stream picture, the next generation PMOs, also VMOs, needs to focus on to portfolio management and program management. That's are important topics. So when we summarize the whole things, PMOs needs to focus on the portfolio management, to prioritize the items, to work with the top management, and needs to focus on to manage the different teams, also team of teams. So my question, Rıdvan, the last question, ready for this?
Of course.
Okay. Now, how many months do we need to complete to transform PMO to VMO? 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, or
Yeah.
unlimited?
Good question. Actually, we need to transform, of course, our PMOs from PMO to VMO, another strategic perspective. But of course, we don't have the exact, let's say, exact form or duration for this transformation, because actually transformation includes lots of perspectives like mindset, way of working, governance, and another things itself. So we need to understand the new generation PMO mindset, first of all, because we need to focus customers, we need to focus the real outcomes, we need to focus collaboration with all companies, not only some CX or some managers. We need to collaborate all companies as well. So in that explanation, we have to create our transformation roadmap. Maybe we can say we can create our transformation roadmap. We need to refocus our processes and also our goals, our strategy, according to our discussion and our discussion point, right? So unfortunately, there is no exact time or exact duration for this transformation. As a project managers, we need to increase our skill, right? We are saying that we need to reskill our skills and also upskill and also reskill. We are calling these two terms. We need to increase our skills, and also we need to have some deep knowledge about project management field, and then we need to have different skills like agile. That is the famous term in the world, right? Because of that, unfortunately, we don't have exact duration for that. And also we are sharing same explanation for company transformation. There is no exact time for to transform companies, right? It's directly related, of course, the leadership behaviors and also mindset, let's say the encourage of the company for this kind of transformation. That's really important. Of course, the scale of the company, right? That's another important thing to transform. So, so let's prepare at least for this kind of transformation.
That's great. Also, what we are starting with assessment and to understand their current state, right? Because this is important, because if we start with solution, lots of things will resist us. Also, we face with you lots of time. But we start with to understand them, what is their current situation and what is their pain points. I think this is another important topic, because also while I'm discussing with David Anderson, who is founder of Kanban University, he said to me, if you are doing something good, continue to do this. So while transform the company, if they have power, if they are doing something good, you can continue, they can continue to them. But if we find their pain points, for example, they are not good at prioritization, let's use weighted shortest job first formula or the other practices. If they are not good at to collaborate with each other, let's focus on to cultural change, maybe to align with the others. Or if they are not good at to team of teams initiatives, let's focus on the program management or lean budgeting or limit their capacity like that. Also, where is the problem? We need, if we start with them and we can focus on the solutions, I think, as you said, there is no end point also at this time. and to go start with pain points and to create a backlog and to be a learning organization to follow the continuous improvement process. I think that's the key point. So
I want to say something.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
want to say something about that, because almost all of us, I get project managers or project management office manager and something like that. So it is not a project. Okay, change is not a project because there is no the start date and end date as a project. It's not a project. So we need to understand that it is a journey, right? Change is happening almost all time. Because of that, we need to adapt the current need, current environment, and also current world, right? We are really running our business in different environment right now. Almost 3 years, the world is changed really exponential manner, right? Because of that, we need to increase our adaptability of the adapt of the change, right? That is the case.
So let's go back to first question. Do we need to close the PMOs? And you said no, because we invest them too much till now, and they are good people. Project managers have great skills. You know that they have leadership skills, they have strategy skills, coordination, and they know the products, and they have they know risk management, type management, scope management, and when you close the PMO, you need to fire all these guys. I think.
And then during our transformation experiences, some CXOs also asking directly us. They are asking us, do we need to fire all our managers during these agile transformations?
Not just project managers, all managers.
Not only project managers, but also all managers, all level of managers. We need to fire them. Of course, we are responding this question. No, we need to change their mindset, their behaviors, because we don't need managers, general or classic managers. We need leaders in the company. Okay, more than before.
That's great. I think we are done now, and
we are running out of time, right?
Yeah, but we can promote it to PMI UAE chapter, and we can answer the whole questions in background if we don't have time, if we cannot complete on time. We promote about that, and maybe we can we can answer the whole questions in the next session or background. Whatever you want, we are flexible, and this is our promote.
Okay, thank you. Thanks. I think it was a great session, Eren and Rıdvan. I think your chemistry and your conversation was something like, as if like husband and wife are debating and questioning each other. At times I felt like that for the moment, but it was very complimentary to each other. A wonderful session, guys. I have some couple of questions coming from audience. Let me just try to put them through to you before we go ahead. Let me just read them out. So, okay, one question comes from Mr. Camel. He says that our company started recently agile transformation journey, and our PMO main focus is not to lose the certification of CMMI level 5. How can we balance agile and CMMI level 5 together?
Yeah, actually, maybe I can answer this question.
Yeah. And
actually, we need to understand that agile is not a thing that to lose or control points or control objectives. That is, it is not related to that kind of let's say, because we are saying that when we try to be agile, we need to have much more transparent environment in the company. So we also saying that if you are running your business as agile mindset and also agile organization, so it means that we will have lots of control opportunity, but we don't need lots of control processes. That's really important because we will have lots of transparent teams. We will have lots of transparent field, value streams, tribes, ARTs and lots of fields in the company, because they need to share or show their outcomes directly to whole company, not only their stakeholders. They also can share their results directly to whole companies, even their customers. Sometimes we are inviting some customers directly to observe the team's result in banks, insurance companies, defense industry, something like that.
Okay.
Can I add one more point about this question? We are always saying every company is unique. So your company is unique, and is it mandatory to focus on CMMI level 5? You can keep it. But I think in your transformation journey, I think whole companies has different challenges, and you need to check your transformation roadmap. What is your actions before touching the CMMI level 5? I think you need to take different actions to improve your business agility. So I can say that go to your transformation roadmap and check your to-dos. Maybe you can prioritize the other items and before to focus on to CMI level 5 to touch this.
Yeah. Because in some of our clients, we are supporting them. They are creating some defense product. That's really important. You know that. So they have lots of high CMMI level in their company as well.
Good. Another question, guys, we have is from Mr. Saif, is that he touches the point of mental health there. So it might be a bit of a sidetrack, but yeah, I think I should ask that question. We talk about different high priority project delivery simultaneously using Agile, and then the value management streams, how this value management office can help handling the mental health of the teams. Any views?
Eren, it's your turn.
Okay. I can say that lean portfolio management, start with lean portfolio management and start to limit your capacity with the top management. Because if you start to put limit at the team level, and the lots of initiative will try to come, and let's focus on lean portfolio management. And to do this, let's learn what is lean portfolio management. And after you learn lean portfolio management, you will understand the value of this. It's about the executive team. And if you fix this, and if you adapt to lean portfolio management, the team's motivation will improve. I believe that also I experienced it.
Good. So I think I would not be able to take a lot of other questions are there, but we'll try to answer them, guys. But because of the lack of time we already have, before that, but I have to take a last question. If I can manage it, keep it short and simple. If you can we change from PMO to VMO in a defense industry, or which other fields will be work better for this transition?
It's a good question. We are experiencing it, but Rıdvan, it's your turn and I will add something.
Okay, then. Yeah, as Eren told that, we also experience these kind of transformation in defense industry. So, because actually their industry is really changing exponential manner, right? Because of that, they need to adapt this transformation. So sometimes we are thinking about that it's really tough to transform in that field. Not really, because they are following lots of new technologies, maybe let's say 10 years ahead, because they are following these technologies, right? They are right now creating some missiles. We are supporting them. They are creating autonomous, let's say, autonomous fighter devices, let's say automobiles. So we are also supporting with these kind of companies right now. They already changed. They are not changing. They already changed, lots of companies. And some companies are doing transformation, right?
Good. So I think the message goes loud and clear, guys. So when we talk about value management in a nutshell, if I just like to put and amplify the meaning of what is the definition of value in our minds, actually.
Sure.
So
Sure.
I think until and unless that definition of value is not getting clear to us as a PMO, as a project manager, as a program manager, whatever you say, this will always be a question mark in everybody's mind, that how far we can go, how much time it will take, will it succeed or fail, is it applied to my industry or core practices? So I think we should all align and try to align our brain towards understanding the value as a term away from English language. You know, we are talking about value in different transformation aspect here. For example, if I just try to put it in my own words, so to define a value, if I want to give a formula, what it would be. Now, everybody in this webinar will give different formula of value even.
Okay.
So until unless that particular value statement doesn't come clean and uniform across the industry as a practice, it will always be challenging. And that's why this change and these people like all of you guys like Rıdvan and I mean, you are just trying to help all of us to establish that common definition. But in my brain at the moment, what is value? Value for me is simply like a ratio between a satisfaction of a stakeholder demands or the needs and divided by the resources, what we try to achieve to achieve that satisfaction. So that is a value to me, for example, you know, so that's how I perceive value today. And in my perspective, it can be different. But anyway, it was interesting discussion from all of the perspective. We thought about different dimension. We learned about different dimension. We are now at the closure of the webinar, guys. So I would like to give a shout out to our friends in the marketing team whose work has been astronomically great in terms of posting all the relevant information to our social media and the event pages of the website. Also, big thanks to both of you as our guests. Your valuable insights are quite helpful to our audience. And of course, I would like to give a big thank to attendance and the people who have really made this to webinar session today. I would like to say thank you to rest of the teams from outreach and finance governance membership as well, whose volunteering aspects are always being grateful to PMI UAE chapter. So again, before we close it, until our next webinar together with my colleagues behind the camera, Amir and the events team there, this Anshul wishing you a lovely evening ahead. And thank you for all of you for your great participation and questions. Thank you and God bless, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Our LinkedIn addresses also, if someone any question, we are here and we can answer fast. Also, we promise that. Yeah, so I think it would be great if you can just leave us by basically how we can contact you guys or whatever. We can pass it to our volunteers group chat. We will definitely share that coordinate. So if somebody want to get in touch for particular questions,
yes,
they can directly get out to you. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it, gentlemen. Take care of you. God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.